everybody. Welcome again to our sales training call every Monday at 1 p.m. We have sales training. It's either going to be a case study where we talk about real life clients and policies that we've sold, clients that we've protected, or we'll have a guest speaker on where we're going to be interviewing, learning from their experiences. So today, though, you guys are in for a treat. We have my business partner and good friend for probably 16 plus years, Gio Lopez. Are you on the call, sir?
I am, brother. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. So I can't believe, man, we've been knowing each other for like 16 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, longer than I've ever been married.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. So Gio is the only person on this call that could say he was at my wedding ceremony because he's the only one. 16 years. So yeah, it's been over 16 years since we've known each other. But the way Gio and I got introduced, and it's crazy to see us being in business together again. So Gio and I got introduced to Gio when I was part of a network marketing business way back. I think I got in that business in 2005. Gio was my upline in that business. And that's how we got introduced. And we've, just been friends ever since then. And it's been a phenomenal journey. And we were talking the other day about some of the things we had to do in that network marketing business that we've completely neglected because of the trauma of that business. And so I guess I'll let you tell your side of the story, but I think the goal here, right, guys, is especially for those of you that are ambitious enough to want to build a business with Family First Life. We have two jobs here, or two sides to our business. We can sell insurance, and that's the job of what we do. And it's a great job. It's a great career, right? The income is unmatched. The reward of what we do in helping families is unmatched. But the other side of what we do is that you can build a business. You can build an agency. You could be an independent agent selling insurance. You could be an independent agency coaching and training and helping and empowering, recruiting and empowering agents to sell insurance. So we want to talk about that bit for a few minutes here. And then I'm going to jump into something that I think is going to be super helpful for everybody on the call with Cam. So Gio, kind of, I guess, tell them a little bit about that business we're a part of and some of the things that you took from that business. And then I'll ask you a couple quick questions.
Yes, you caught me off guard there. I wasn't necessarily ready to talk about that business, but anyways, no, I mean, that's great. Thank you, man, for having me again. And obviously, hopefully whatever we say here, it helps someone. So I guess the biggest part for me, Jermaine, is most definitely the mindset. And that was one of the biggest things that helped me change personally, in life overall. I started when I think it was 19. And I had I always knew that I was going to own my own business. I just didn't know what it was going to be. So when the opportunity came about, I pretty much took it, and I honestly ran with it. I would totally tell you that I ran with it. I just didn't know any better, right? And it was one of those deals where you had to pay money to get in, you had to continue to buy products, and you had to participate in trainings. There was like there was no other way. It was, the highway or, goodbye, or no other way. And they instill a lot of, I would probably say, discipline, if I was to look at it, with on a third set of eyes, right? And we never complained. But, it was just one of those things that we just kind of had to do. It was what we wanted to do. We were never, I don't think that we were ever told what to do. However, and I tell you the reason why we did it, right? Because of the simple fact that you had to pay for everything. And it hurt paying when you don't have any money, right? It hurts paying $20 every week, to go to a meeting in a hotel, right? To hear, the business opportunity again. And they tell you, right, hey, if you don't have any guests, make sure that you still come out, because it lets you see the opportunity again, and it gets you excited. And I mean, as soon as you get out of there, you run to the gas station and you just want to share the opportunity with someone, right? And that's what they tell you. Aside from that, it was, maybe product training. And then after that, we had a leaders meeting. And then after that, we had a night out, right? Like, you will go to a local pizza shop, and we would talk about the dream. We would talk about how to accomplish what you want to accomplish, how those people have done it. And it's, I wouldn't say similar, because it's not, but I mean, you get to hear what other people have done. And I mean, at the end of the day, and I will give it to them, right? I mean, I did make, as I kind of got to some levels or whatever, we did make some money, but it was nothing like this. The amount of work that you have to put in to accomplish anything, or to make some kind of money in that business and network marketing, it's a lot, right? It can definitely happen. You can definitely make it happen. I'm a huge believer that if you put enough effort into anything, you can make it happen, as long as you don't quit. But the other factor, and I think is the biggest factor that has helped me along the way, is the mindset, right? Positive mental attitude was one of the things that they talk about a lot, and not just by the power of the spoken word. And I know that I had conversations with a lot of you guys, and I think I'm thankful for that trauma, Jermaine. Like the positive, added, like the power of the tongue. It's been the one of the things that has helped me, all these years. Um, I was talking to Ashley the other day, and even with my kids, I don't speak sickness on them. I don't let anybody speak sickness on them or anything like that, right? And it's because of that. So I'm very thankful of that trauma. Aside from that, just understanding that it's gonna take work, man. It's gonna take work. So just to fast forward it, when I got introduced by you, and just by you sharing, the kind of money that you were making here, I was traumatized enough that I came to you, and you remember that phone call, and I was like, hey man, I'm not talking to anybody, I'm not selling anything, I'm not recruiting, I'm not contacting, which is what we used to do. And I tell you guys what contacting was. We had to go out and talk to uh, total strangers, and lie to them about how they look familiar, or how I might have seen them, at church, or we probably had some friends, acquaintances, or talk about how nice their beat up, Honda Civic, with rims looked. Um, and that's what it was. It was just starting conversations.
Yeah.
And Jermaine and I were talking about this, because the idea behind what we do, and really just the mission, I like to say, the mission that we have here in FFL, and just sharing the opportunity with as many people as we can. It starts with that mindset, right? It starts with that mentality, because you want to make sure that you can talk to as many people as you can, and share the opportunity with everyone. So I'm in that mode right now. I have to get over the fact that we were selling powder and pills, right? And that
Yeah.
we were offering an opportunity to people that where you honestly don't know if you're going to make a lot of money or not. I know for a fact that you have to pay $150 to get started on that other stuff. And then you have to sell, like literally sell. Like there's not such thing as leads, or there's not such thing as like, getting licensed to, in fact, do something. I wouldn't call it well, yeah, to start a career, a
Yeah.
professional career, selling life insurance. And so I'm taking it on the approach of like, I shouldn't be ashamed of sharing this opportunity. And I tell you this because that's where I was, and this, right? I mean, I was a secret agent.
Yeah.
I did not share anything with anybody. I would not post, I would not share anything, I would not talk to anyone. In fact, I still think that there's a few family members that don't know what I do. Probably now they do, because I share a whole lot now, but I know that I need to do a better job at sharing. But I came to the realization that I shouldn't be ashamed of sharing, an opportunity where someone has to get a license, and you have to be smart enough to actually pass it, right? And the other thing for me is that, and I tell this to agents because this had to be so simple, Jermaine, because if not, I wasn't going to do it. Anything that gets complicated, it just freezes me, right? I mean, take it however you want to take it, but that's just the way that it has to be for me. Like, I don't get caught up on illustrations. I don't get caught up on product. I don't get caught up with applications. I don't get caught up with any of that, what to leave behind and all this stuff, right? And again, that's just me, right? But if this was complicated, I just wouldn't be doing it. And that's the reason why I feel that I have such a great opportunity in hands to be able to share to someone who's in need. Everyone that I talk to has a side hustle. Everyone that I'm telling you guys, I'm on that mission again of talking to as many people as I can. And sometimes it gets not annoying, right? But my wife already knows. Like, I'm talking to the servers. I'm talking to the gas attendant people. If I the gas station attendants, if I go to a gas station, I'm talking to the retail sellers. I mean, we go to the mall. If I'm able to connect with someone, I'm definitely talking to them. And if they're rude, I mean, they're obviously miserable, right? I'm also gonna talk to them. So I'm talking to everyone. I don't know. I really don't have a high expectation. I'm just looking for, the next Cam. I'm looking for the next Jermaine. I'm looking for the next Ashley. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm just not gonna know, who that person is until I talk to as many people as I can.
The powerful thing too, is that your focus is more that it's more of what's in this opportunity for them, not just what's in it for you. And
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that I want to highlight, because initially it was like, hey, it's all about me. It's all about me. I don't want to talk to nobody. And I'll admit I was that way too. I didn't start posting on Facebook until several months because I came from that old company. I'm like, I'm never talking. I'm not recruiting nobody to nothing ever again. I'm not going to be that guy. But once I realized,
like 3 other ones.
yeah, right. Once I realized what this opportunity truly was, I was like, it would be criminal for me not to share this. And when I look at, what's transpired with you and with a couple others, I'm just thinking about this right now. So let me pull this back up real quick. And let me see if I could share this. And this is pretty cool now that I'm processing this as we're talking through this. So hold on one second. Let me share my screen real quick. Hold on 1 minute. All right, can't share the screen, but looking at the Hall of Fame, right? You're on the road to Hall of Fame. Chris is on the road to Hall of Fame. Derek is on the road to Hall of Fame. Okay, helping over 400 families this year. And the financial impact that has for y'all's families, right? Imagine if I had never shared what I did with you. I didn't know whether you were going to do it or not, but what I was focused on is that, this business is working well for me. It's changing my family situation financially. Let me share this with someone else so that way they can have that same benefit. It wasn't about what I could make from doing that. It was more of what it could do for you. And, we've seen what it's done for your family. And we see, Chris and Derek, and these were all three guys for everybody on the call. 3 of our top 5 producers were all individuals I knew before the business that found out about the business because I shared it with them via social media. And what I love, Gio, is the fact that, that you just have that mindset that, man, I'm sharing this with everybody. You're sharing it on social media. You were at dinner with us at Fogo after the huddle, and I think there was 2 valet there, and your wife sitting in the car, and you're talking to the valet, giving them your business card, and you just have that mindset. So let me ask you this, just for everybody's benefit: when you're meeting a stranger, making them a friend, and you're telling them about this business, what are you asking? What are you saying to be able to see if there's any interest for you to share what we do?
So I'm big on connections, and I know that. So somebody said this. Chris Photo had mentioned this the last time, because he was on that mindset of like, hey, if they're nice, that's great. You know, I'm gonna talk to them. But if they're not, I'm also gonna talk to them, because obviously, you know, they're miserable. So going back to what this opportunity can do for any individual, you know, that decides to follow the system and work, right? Because it's not, you know, a gym membership where you're gonna get bulked up, you know, by not going, just by having the little, you know, card to scan. You definitely have to work out. But that's my mindset, man. I mean, because I think again that is simple. I know that I can share it with anyone who is looking. And again, knowing that most people right now, so for example, those guys at the valet, right? It was a side hustle for them. It's a side job, it's a part-time job. Most people have something that they're doing on their spare times, afternoons and you know, weekends. And so I kind of just asked, you know, if I'm talking, so if I, let's say because I know that you kind of did valet too, right? So I would go, you know, hey Jermaine, thanks man, I appreciate you. Has it been busy today? And I just start a conversation. They're gonna tell you, you know, yeah, it's been busy. You know, yeah, it's Friday, it's Saturday. It was, and I'll be like, you know, what time do you get off? And then, you know, you tell me, and then I go, gotcha. So you work a lot, huh? And then be like, yeah, you know, I'm busy. And then that guy was like, you know, yeah, this is just something that I do on the side. I have a 9 to 5, you know, I have a regular job. And I was like, oh wow, okay. I'm like, why the second job? You know, I kind of want to find out, you know. Well, I just needed more money, you know, I needed to make more income. And then if it's simple as that, I just go, hey, listen, I mean, I don't promise you anything, but I'm always looking for hardworking people to work with. You know, I usually say, you know, good help is hard to find. I don't promise you anything. I tell them, but I do have a life insurance agency, and I'm looking for people to work. And then I ask them, have you ever thought about getting your license for life insurance? And you know, the conversation starts like that, and then I cut it really short. I go, hey, again, I don't promise you anything. This isn't for everyone. I got to see if this is going to be a good fit for us. I'll send you a few videos so you can take a look at it. Let me know when you finish them, and we can hop on a quick call. And so I just go, I don't ask them, you know, can I have your phone number, or would it be okay if you give me your number? I just pull out my phone and go, what's your number? And that's pretty much how it goes.
Perfect, nice and straightforward. And it's funny what brought this whole conversation back to memory, like G was talking about back in the day. This, you guys will laugh at this, but you know,
Form. Do you remember form?
the form, yeah, you know, family, occupation,
recreation, message.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness. But either way, we would, just to kind of give you an idea, when we were part of that network marketing business, and it's crazy because there's a lot of insurance IMOs that have been built, you know, based off of warm market recruiting. And you know, the way we did it in that business wasn't insurance, it was the products, skincare products and so forth. Is that every day after work, before we went home, we would stop at every gas station and every grocery store, and we'd have to talk to a certain number of people. And that's what Gio was talking about, and just sharing an opportunity with them. And it's amazing that all of us here, we have this great opportunity in Family First Life, and we don't share it. And the reason I know we don't share is because I see by our growth, right? And now, not everybody wants to build an agency. That's perfectly fine. But for those of you that do, okay, or those of you that don't, even if you want to just share what we do and somebody comes on board and be able to just benefit their family, but especially those of you that are looking to build an agency, build a business, you definitely got to be sharing. And it comes to the one-on-one conversation, comes to the social media sharing. You guys could go follow Gio on Instagram and Facebook, and you see the content that he's putting out. You could follow our Facebook page, our Instagram page, just to see the content that we're putting out, and reshare that stuff. Like Gio said, and Sean Mike has been talking about this, which is why I thought it was important to have this conversation with you guys, because so many people in this economy are hurting. I've had clients call me in the recent weeks just saying, hey man, things have changed on the job. I know you told me that you guys are always looking for agents. Is that opportunity still available? I had a waitress from when I was in Florida almost a year ago that called me back. I gave her had the same conversation like you had with the valet, gave her my business card. She calls me, things have slowed down drastically. I need to take a look at that insurance thing that you were talking about. So this is about rescuing people, guys.
Right.
It's not a selfish mission. It's a very selfless mission, which makes it harder for some of us to do because it is taking the initiative and the mindset that I'm going to go out of my way to have a conversation or post something that's going to benefit someone else that might not necessarily benefit me right away. But it is necessary. Would you agree, Gio?
100%, man. These are times of need, and you simply just have to look. And I don't focus on it again, just focusing on the positive side of things. But you look at the gas pumps. It just it's been changing, but it's been changing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then for me, and these are some of the posts that I did before, when the gas prices were going up and everything else. So I talked about the gas prices, and then a can of formula, I mean, it's almost $20. So just one, you know what I mean? So people are in need. There's with everything being done from home. I mean, even in the mortgage industry too, right? There's a lot of layoffs. People are being let go. I mean, 50, 60, 80, $100,000 per year careers are being replaced by someone answering the phone, at home. And so there's a lot of changes, and people are never going to tell you. And that's the one thing too that I learned, because I used to do the same thing, right? People are not going to tell you that they're hurting. I talked about it in a reel that I did a little bit ago, and my ego was pretty big, where I didn't have the guts to tell you how bad I was hurting, financially. I couldn't find, the guts to say, hey man, and I told you a bunch of stuff. I told you how long it was going to take me to get the license. And, I was still putting up a front, but I needed the opportunity. So people are not going to tell you how bad they're hurting. Maybe some, like the waitress that called you back. But for the most part, you're not going to find out until you ask, until you open up and have a sincere conversation. And that's the other thing, guys. I feel that you don't have to be a salesy, because I get a lot of people just now. I can tell you right now, someone just responded to me on Facebook, and they're like, oh, so you're going to try to recruit me? And I go, no, not really, because, I'm not looking to, shove this down your throat. Like, if you're not looking, I'm totally fine with it. You know what I mean? I did my part. So you don't have to be salesy. You don't have to push this on other people. But if they're looking, they're going to tell you. And if they're serious, you're going to see it, right? You're going to see how much they're going to follow the system. So, yeah, man, 100% I agree. These are times of need, and I feel that everyone can take advantage from it.
Absolutely, man. So let's make sure we're sharing. And then I just dropped the hiring link or the Knowledge Library recruiting section. I just dropped the link in the chat. Anthony had a great question. How do you get the pre-licensing course? All that details is in that section. And on Thursday, we're going to be going over the recruiting process completely. So those of you that are interested, that want to share, can join us on Thursday at 2 p.m. and we'll go over all the details on how to recruit, what to share. But in the Knowledge Library under the recruiting section, you'll see all that details. Gio, go ahead, drop your handle, your social media handle in the chat, so that way everybody can see. And feel free to copy and steal everything. So anything that he's sharing, you could copy and share and reshare. And again, don't be a secret agent. If Brittany, my Uber passenger, had never told me about Family First Life, I wouldn't be here, and maybe some of you wouldn't be here today. So just think about that impact that you can make. So appreciate you, Gio.
Can you tell us how that conversation went?
Yeah. So real quick, I mean, I picked up Brittany and Rachel. They both work for Mike Kilmet. Brittany is hiring manager over there. and just, you know, regular conversation, everybody that gets in your Uber. I was Ubering full time. I had a 8 to 4 job, and then I'd get off 8 to 4:30 because you get 30-minute lunch. I'd get off at 4:30. My car was parked about 3 blocks over in the garage, and I'd get off and I'd go in the car, and, you know, I'd grab a quick bite to eat, turn on the Uber app at 5 o'clock, pick up a ride, and I'd be out driving till 5, from 5 till probably 9 o'clock. And then I'll do that on the weekends as well. But either way, she came in the car and she just had a general conversation, man. Hey, how long have you been driving? And is this all you do? No, I work a full-time job as well, but I'm always keeping my eyes open for new opportunities. You know, I have a family, I need to provide for them. And she just shared, hey, you know, kind of like what you said, funny enough, is like, hey, not sure if this might be for you, but we work for an insurance agency. And the guys there make really great money. We're on the administrative side of things, but, you know, we could get you some information and then connect you with, you know, Mike Kilmet, who's the agency owner, and see if it might be a good fit. And so that's how that conversation went down. I said, sure, gave her my contact details. She sent me an email with some of the, with the leaderboard, right? She sent me the leaderboard, and I was looking, I was like, man, these guys make good money. And then I had a call with Mike Kilmet. So, you know, if it's one-on-one, you can always share. Don't share your income on social media. But if it's a direct conversation, feel free to share your income, or just the families that we help. We have a lot of graphics out. And that's how it all started. And I said, you know what do I have to lose? Why not give it a shot? And, you know, helped over 160 families that first year, and the rest is history. So definitely don't be a secret agent. You never know whose life you could change, because this business definitely changed my life and hopefully has impacted yours. That's why you're on this call. So appreciate you, Gio. Yeah, man. Appreciate the partnerships.